One. Yay, okay. Sorry about that, folks. I am live again. So this is creating happiness using crystals take two. I am so sorry. I'm not sure what happened to the first one. Oh, and I have Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, I think I'm in.
Yes, you are. You're very loud. Can you turn, we have some reverberation. Okay.
Yeah, hang on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes. I'm gonna turn no. Alrighty. Yes. I can, are you still there? Okay, I think I just may have messed up your, hold on, your,
Trying to get it on.
it's not you. Something happened and my broadcast went off. There. Now go ahead and talk again.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
hold.
getting your picture. I had you, I could hear you on the computer, but I can't connect on the computer for some reason.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me try
That,
again.
I may take your camera off because and just have you have voice. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, no, I'm not
Oh,
sure. All of a sudden I was broadcasting and then I wasn't broadcasting.
okay, I'm trying you again on the
So,
computer.
okay.
Oh my
Shut
goodness.
off your phone. Sorry, I had to do that.
Oh,
Oh, shut off your phone again.
okay, is that better?
Much better. Yes.
Sorry, it
Okay.
finally connected. I didn't mean to do that to you
It's okay. Oh,
because
all righty. There.
it finally popped up on the phone where it didn't on the computer. So,
I gotcha. I gotcha. So, I don't know. You said that you were hearing me talking about
yes,
creating happiness in the three steps. So
right.
I'm gonna go on. I know that, is that Rusty watching TV in the background?
Yes. Is that too loud?
It's very loud.
Is it? Okay. Russ, can you put your headphones on? Because it's bothering the other thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, we don't want it to end up, it just makes too much noise.
Right. I didn't realize that you could hear it
Mhm.
that loudly. Trying to get my
Well,
cameras set. I don't know. There, I guess that's the best I can do.
that's fine. I'm opening up to this. All right. So what I was saying about the stones into going in and using stones, I had started off by saying I use stones. Let me do. Okay. So what I was saying is that I use stones to help me in terms of creating my happiness. I realize that not for everybody, working with crystals is something that that works for them or that they understand. For some people it's music, and that's a beautiful and wonderful thing. For other people, it's going out and connecting with their plants and their herbs and growing, and that's another way. So there are many types of forms of connection that we as individuals can do that can help us create happiness. For me, as I said, one of the things is crystals. I am very, very attached or connected to using crystals, and I use them around the house and in my work quite a bit. I will tell you a real brief story about something that happened with me not so long ago. A few years ago, well, not more than a few years ago, somewhere in my early 20s, I decided to put all my crystals and stones away, probably during one of my moves. I used to carry them around in a little leather change purse that my mom gave me to hold my milk money in. And yeah, it held my milk money for a little while, but really it was far better. The use of it was for stones, really, and crystals, far more so than my milk money. But one of the things I did during one of my moves is I had put, like I said, my stones away. And I almost subconsciously remember thinking, oh, well, I don't need these anymore. Thinking, oh, this is a little girl's collection or whatever, but sort of threw it off to the side like I didn't need it. Well, for a few years, they stayed in a little pouch and they moved from place to place. And I never pulled them out. Well, a couple of years ago, actually probably about 2010, so more than a couple, I remembered, it was like all of a sudden I woke up and I remembered my stones and my crystals. And so I went tearing around my house, and I don't know how many moves had happened since I had put them away, but I went tearing around my house, and it was really interesting because I found them in a very easy, safe place. When you put things away in a safe place, and you're
Right.
like, oh God, am I ever going to remember where that safe place was? No, but it was really interesting because I had put out the intention of I need my crystals and I need to find them and I need to find them right now. And I found them. It was like in a matter of, it wasn't even a matter of hours. It was more like a matter of minutes. I found my crystals. And I remember pulling them out and holding them in my hand because I had poured them onto my hand. And I remember holding them there, and I thought, and I looked at them and I said, hello, old friends. I've really missed you. And it happened, and there was a full moon at the time. And one of the best ways I like to clean my crystals is in a full moon bath. So I'll put them all out on the ledge. At this particular house, I had deep windowsills, and we had incredible moonlight that would flood into the house. And so I put them on the windowsill in my bedroom. And I remember the feeling as they were getting their moonlit bath of this, beautiful vibration that just was happening all over my body. It was just glorious. And from that moment on, I said, okay, I can't ever do that again. And my collection of stones has grown since. Now, I shared this story with you because it was such an important thing that had occurred because I had forgotten my connection. And during my sleep, my time asleep from my connection, I realized, or I don't want to say I realized, but I was going down a path. And yes, I was happy, and yes, things were happening, and yes, life was, I was very blessed, and life was abundant in every aspect. But one of the things that I noticed is that I kept going around in my vortex in this circle, and I wasn't spiraling down at a rapid pace, but it was almost as though I just kept circling around, and I wasn't spinning up, and I wasn't necessarily going down. I just kept spinning in the same circle. And things would happen with me spinning in the same circle, and I would find that my circle, rather than moving upward, it would slip down. And then it would spin in the circle, and maybe it would go up a little bit more. And maybe it would rise a bit more, but then it would slip down again. And for me, it was just personal things. It had no exterior, well, I can't say I had no exterior influence, because what I found is that I was letting myself be influenced, and it was uncomfortable. And it wasn't uncomfortable in terms of it was challenging me in a positive way. It was uncomfortable in terms of I was becoming somebody that I wasn't supposed to be. So that's sort of what was happening, and that's when it was like I had this awakening, and it was like, bam, I need to have my crystals. And so since then, like I said, I've been adding to my collection. Now, one of the things that I did at first, and I always recommend to people when they're trying to create change, and you want to create change using the vibration of a crystal, because they have a vibration that never changes. And each crystal has a different vibration. So don't think that it's one crystal has the same vibration and it's one crystal cures all. Because it really doesn't work like that. It would be sort of like saying, oh, I can use rosemary in everything I make and it's all going to be good. Now, granted, rosemary is an incredible herb, and it's one of my favorite, and my goodness, I use it in an abundance of things. However, it's not great with everything. It's great with a lot of stuff, but not great with everything. It's sort of like time. Time's another one. It's great with a lot of things, but there are just some things you don't want to use time in when you're cooking. Well, it's the same with crystals. There are some crystals that are great for just about everything. One of my favorites, and I used to carry it, is an amethyst. And this particular amethyst, I don't know, I call it my bunny, because for me it looks like a bunny rabbit. Right. Not everybody sees it as a bunny, but I do. Oh, I don't know if I can get it. Yeah, there it sort of is my bunny. So this one is called Bunny. Yes, I named my stones. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I carried this amethyst with me from the moment I got it, because I actually, funny enough, I ordered this one off of eBay, but I carried it with me, and I carried it with me in my pocket. And when I would feel this moment of being overwhelmed or having emotions, or a lot of things happened, I would know that it was in my pocket, and frequently I'd pull it out and I'd put it into my left hand, because my left hand is my receiving hand, and I would just carry it. So if I was walking, doing, exercising, or walking, doing errands or something, frequently I'd take it out of my pocket that I carried it in, and I carried it in my hand so that I could feel the stone in my hand. Another place that I frequently would carry my stone is in my bra, close to my heart, because it's another area that I needed the stone to touch my skin. Having the stones touch your skin can be very powerful. Now, using the stones that I'm going to be talking about right now are ones that are pretty common, and they're very gentle. There are two reasons why I use a calmer stone or a stone that's abundant. Is a stone that's abundant doesn't cost as much as one that's harder to find. But the other reason why I use a stone that's abundant is because that's Mother Earth's way of telling us this is what we need. So, amethyst is one of them. Maybe you have an amethyst that you would like to use, or maybe you already have one, or maybe you'll get one. Now, do the colors matter? in the stones? They can. Like this amethyst that I have, my bunny, is very light. Now this one is a little cluster I have here with me, and it's grape. I call this one grape jelly, and it's from Uruguay. You can tell that it's from Uruguay because it is so deep in its color. And that is where the deep, deep, deep purple amethysts are from. And it's really cool because I happen to have a new friend who's from Uruguay. So I get to think about her when I now use grape jelly. So, and that's what I call this one. This one's called grape jelly. Yes, I know. It's just me. Not all my stones have names, but frequently a lot of them do. An amethyst is what I call a master healer. Actually, anybody who works with crystals, pretty much, I want to say that we're all in agreement that an amethyst, working with an amethyst, if you had only one stone in your first aid kit, the stone that I would pick, an amethyst, because it works a multitude of areas. So, but it's a really great one to help bring balance into your life. Every person is going to have their own, what I call a happy stone. And I'm using air quotes because there is no one particular stone that creates happiness. Again, we create happiness in our own lives. What the stone does is it amplifies what we're trying to create. That's what crystals do. You know, they're amplifiers. Overall, they amplify. They either amplify an emotion we're having, an emotion that we want to create. They're very good at bringing balance. So if you're out of balance, you can use an opposing stone to help bring the balance back in. Now, another amethyst that I have that I've recently acquired, and I will recommend Shelly from Shelly Gems and Stones, I think, is her latest name. She just changed, and I just got this. This is a banded amethyst, and it's nice. It's a larger piece, and it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Isn't that lovely? And so, again, because this is a polished piece, it's a lot more comfortable to carry around as you're walking around doing your chores, your errands, exercising. But it doesn't have to be this large for that purpose. You can go with a smaller piece. But again, amethyst is my go-to. The stone that I choose is a go-to. Now, when we're talking about happiness, one of the things that typically comes into mind and comes into play is how people feel about themselves, how they relate with themselves, if they like themselves, if they love themselves. Now, please do not confuse loving yourself with self-esteem or self-confidence. In my very humble opinion, and with my years of working with people with fitness and even with life coaching, the thing that I have really come to realize is there is a huge difference between loving yourself, self-esteem, and self-confidence. Self-esteem and self-confidence is one of those things that that comes from almost an external force to come within. Self-love is something that we aren't necessarily taught. Self-esteem is something that we're taught. Self-confidence is something that we're taught. There's an extraordinary video going around right now on the web of a dad teaching his daughter to be self-confident, just by how she stands and by how she projects herself. And that is such a glorious and wonderful video. I really, really, really love watching that. But one of the things that's really interesting to see about it is that uh, is that um, is as great of a job as it's doing with self-confidence and self-esteem, we also need to put that equal amount into teaching people how to love themselves. So one of the stones that I encourage people to work with when it comes to creating a love for themselves, compassion for others, or just an overall sense of well-being is working with rose quartz. Now, I have 2 rose quartz that I like to work with. This particular one is a beautiful specimen that my kid's piano teacher brought back from Maine for me. And so thank you, Steve. Oh, I miss your our lovely chats. But this comes from Maine. It was on his brother's property, and he was out walking, and he came across it, and he said the first person he thought of was me, and so he brought it all the way to Maine from Maine and gave it to me, along with a beautiful box of other wonderful quartz based crystals that were from Maine and his brother's property. But I really love working with rose quartz because it does bring a very gentle healing sense into a room or your surroundings. If I'm having one of those days where we all have them, where it's just like, oh God, I need that added boost. I need that little bit of extra love from myself, not necessarily from my kids, my husband, my friends, but from myself. This is the baby I go for. This is a lovely one. Now, because it really does help you come find a sense of balance from within. And one of my other rose quartz I use, oh, you're not going to want to play today, is this rose quartz heart that I have. It's a polished heart. And I don't think she's going to show it, but she has beautiful rainbows. Oh, wait, there, we might get them in sparkles. And stones that have rainbows and stones that have sparkles are considered to be happy stones. Because what do rainbows bring us? Rainbows bring a smile to your face. It's the most amazing thing. And here in the area that we live in New South Wales, Australia, we see some of the most magnificent rainbows. I haven't seen rainbows like this since I was a little girl living in Scotland. I absolutely just am enthralled with rainbows. And the other day, well, more than the other day, I guess a couple of weeks ago, we were having this incredible rainstorm. And I happened to be out driving. I was going to get my daughter. And I drove through the ends of 3 rainbows. It was amazing. Wow. It was amazing. I was just over the edge. And I don't have to drive far, which makes it even cooler. I drove through 3 rainbows. And my dad happened to be riding with me at the time. And so it was really cool because he's like, oh my gosh, when are these rainbows going to end? And they just weren't. It seemed like rainbow after rainbow after rainbow. It was amazing. So, when you find a crystal or stone that has rainbows in it, and if it has rainbows in it and it's only showing you the rainbows, which frequently happens for me, I must admit, I have a lot of my stones and I'm the only person that they show their rainbows to. That's the stone telling you a secret, and the secret is that it wants to work with you. So, look, I love rainbows and I love sparkles in my stones. The sparkles do the same as rainbows. It brings joy to you. I mean, really? Don't sparkles make you smile? They make me smile. So that's one of those things. So if you're really in a position where you need to feel better on the inside, may I please recommend that you try rose quartz. Carry it around with you. Now, granted, this is a large size. You can, I don't think I can put it up my palm. It's almost palm size. See, you don't need to carry around a palm size rose quartz. If you want to get yourself a little one, I actually have a small dish in my bedroom and a pink heart that I got at TJ Maxx, actually. And it's Murano glass in the shape of a pink heart. And I filled it with rose quartz, just polished rose quartz. I want to say they're all about the size of a nickel. And I filled that bowl up, and I keep that at my bedside table. And it's a wonderful stone for helping you sleep, as well as helping you feel good inside. So there you go. So you have 2 stones right now, easy, not too expensive, that you can create abundance with. So now one of my other stones that I'll carry or I'll use if I'm really feeling like I need to ground my my happiness, because that isn't unusual. I'm not sure. We might be having someone trying to get in. Just give me a second. I might be having someone trying to get in. Nope. No, actually I don't. I don't know where that came from. All right, sorry about that. I was looking to see if I had somebody else trying to get in. Last week I had people trying to get in and I didn't realize it. So if I feel like I need to ground down my energy because I'm really flighty, one of the things that I carry with me that's another gentle and abundant stone is smoky quartz. Now this one's a nice size smoky quartz. And see how it has some sparkles and flash in it? But smoky quartz is a great stone, and it's great for protecting yourself. So when you need to protect yourself from other people's energies as well as your own energy, carrying a smoky quartz is a great one. Another reason why another great thing about carrying a smoky quartz is when there is a lot of energy happening around, going on. Like in the last few weeks, we've had a lot of, well, let's see, we've had a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse, solar flares, full moon, and everything else. This is really good for working with that. So, alrighty, one of the things I need to do. Now, another type of smoky quartz that you can find is not just a polished, but here you can get I have a point, a smoky quartz point.
Oh, that has some nice rainbows.
This one actually has nice striations. You can see them in here. So it's a beautiful smoky quartz. And this is a masculine stone. I had a shaman once explain to me, a medicine man, once explained to me that you can tell the difference between the genders of a stone because, I don't have a really good. You can tell the difference between the genders of a stone because the male stones, not only are they longer, but they are crystal clear. You can see right through them, just like men. You can pretty much see right through men. Whereas a female stone, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. There are a lot of complexities, so you can't see right through a female. I loved it. Yeah. Yeah. When Gray Wolf told me that, he and I had a great big chuckle. It was a lot of fun. So the smoky quartz is a great one for that. Now, if you're wanting to get into creating happiness because you feel like you haven't used your voice or you don't use your voice, you feel like there are things that you want to say and you don't feel strong enough to say them, or perhaps there are things, maybe you're someone who talks too much and doesn't listen enough, and you feel like that's creating some conflict in your life. A great stone to have is blue lace agate. And here is a lovely blue lace agate. I actually recommend putting a blue lace agate in between, well, the mattress and the box spring, between, if you're married, a married couple, or you have boyfriend, girlfriend, your partners, put it in between your pillows. And that allows for good and open communication. So you put it between the box spring and mattress where your pillows are, right in the middle, so that you can both hear each other and communicate better. I actually have done it, and I think that it works pretty good. It works really well. I actually have a few stones that are in between my box spring and mattress. So that in order for good communication on many levels and connections and sleep and all that. Thankfully, neither one of us, neither my husband or I, are the princess and the pea, so we aren't worrying too much about that. So, but blue lace agate, the other thing that you can do with it, um, that helps you find your happiness by creating your voice, is put it in your water. If you know, this particular piece is really small, so I put it in a clear glass that you can see the stone. However, if you have a water bottle with a larger piece of blue lace agate, it's not a toxic stone. You can pop it in your water bottle, and it will help you. I use this on occasions when I know that I have to go do something, or speak about something that possibly I'm not feeling overly confident about, or I'm a little bit nervous about it. And in order to open up and bring great communication, this is what I do: is I use the blue lace agate in my water. I have a friend who sings, and she was getting ready to do her first great big um, live performance at um, a really nice venue here in Sydney. And she and I were talking. And so I gave her a blue lace agate because she kept forgetting her words, and she kept um, having her voice crack. And her voice was cracking because she kept getting caught in her head of, you know, I need, the pressure of having to sing and the pressure of performing. And she was very excited about it, but she was letting the anxieties of created by the excitement, she was letting these anxieties actually come up and almost take over. So one of the things that I did is I gave her the blue lace agate, and I actually gave her an amethyst as well. And we put both of those in her water. And to this day, the last time she and I spoke, she still uses them and drinks them in her water. And she says she doesn't have the problems that she did have prior to that performance, which, by the way, was absolutely spot on. And if she forgot any of her words, any of the lyrics, nobody knew but her. So that's always an important thing. Now, one of the other stones that I would like to just bring up, because it's a great stone to work with, it's price-wise, it's on the more expensive end of what I have shown you. Actually, it is probably the most expensive end of what I'm showing you. But it's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic stone to work with because it helps to keep your energy as your energy and other people's energy as other people's energy. And one of the things that I teach, especially in my Breaking Boundaries presentation that I do, is that not everything that you're feeling is yours, and not everything that you're feeling is something that belongs to you. Frequently, we're a lot like ticky-tacky tape, you know, the lint tape that you use. I know I call it ticky-tacky tape. It's a fun word. I like to use that word. So when I use that, or that analogy of us being the sticky tape and collecting everybody's garbage, it becomes quite clear. It's like, oh wow, I was, around all these people and I felt great, and then when I left, I felt not so great. So this particular stone helps with that. And it's really interesting. Yesterday we went to the Easter show, the Royal Easter show. Oh my gosh, it is the most amazing, amazing, amazing event. But I mean, I don't know how many people, maybe 50, 60,000 people. I don't know, maybe not that many, but maybe that many. It was a lot. All I kept thinking is, oh my gosh, this is the most people I've seen in Sydney the entire time I've been here. It was amazing, but it was a fantastic, fantastic experience. But I brought this stone in my pocket with me because I knew that I was going to be around 5,000 of my newest, closest, dearest friends when I was going to be riding the train. And I was right. And the last thing I needed was to be picking up everybody's energies all around me. So what I carry with me is labradorite. And this is a beautiful piece. Now, there is a great story about stones with flash, and I'll tell that in a minute. But labradorite, is a stone that has flash, and any stone that has flash is, in my book, another happy stone because it's up there with rainbows and sparkles. So, you have flash, rainbows, and sparkles. How much better can life get? I mean, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. But it is a great stone for, like I said, keeping your energy as your energy and helping to repel out other people's energies. So if you're one who gets overwhelmed by being around a lot of people and you find that your emotions are driven by other people's emotions, especially happiness and sadness, might I please recommend that you get yourself a lovely piece of labradorite and you carry it with you. It might be, you can wear it as a pendant, you can wear it as a ring. I have a bracelet that I wear. It all depends. It's what works for you. So I have another story, and it will be my last story for today. And then I'll take a couple of questions. The labradorite, as I said, has the flash. It also has the colors of the aurora borealis. So it is said that a great shaman was once told by Amateo, or Source, that he needed to protect the aurora borealis because it was in danger. And so the shaman, thinking and praying and meditating on what needed to be done, decided that the next aurora borealis, he was going to take the aurora and he was going to put it and cast it into stone so that it would be safe in Mother Earth, and so that when it needed to go back out for us to use and for us to see, that it would be, it would be in the bosom, in the nurturing care of Mama Earth. So that's why we have stones such as labradorite with flash. Another stone with flash, and I don't have one with a lot of great flash at the moment out here with me. Wow, you guys need it. Is moonstone. I'm looking, and I think my daughter has my moonstone that has the best piece of flash. But moonstone is another one. Tiger's eye is another one that has flash in it. Labradorite, tiger's eye, moonstone, and there are a few others that you will, and there are a few others that that you'll notice, and maybe you can think of that story. I thought that was a wonderful story. But with that story being done and complete, that's all I have to say in terms of create some of my favorite stones in helping you create happiness. So with what I have said, do you have any questions, Susan, since you're my only person within the chat today?
No, I was just pulling out mine as you were talking. I have my, if you can see it, my smoky quartz.
Yes.
That one's got some really good, came out really, really clear when I put it in the moon the other night. And I had my rose quartz and my amethyst.
Nice.
And Rusty has labradorite in his pouch. So he has that. And what's the other one? Oh, the blue lace agate I think I have. I just put it in my pouch. So I have all those. I just haven't I haven't been carrying my pouch of late, and I need to. Rusty, I had to remake his, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's been carrying his. But I noticed today, company just all left.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to think what I should be doing because I could feel kind of weepy.
Mm-hmm.
So here I go. Saying that, it's just going to start. So I was thinking about that today. I have my rose quartz wand that I keep beside me in my chair, and I just pick it up and hold it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to think what I needed to do today to help this weepiness.
Oh, well, sometimes with weeping, it's good because it's a release, remember, of energy. And it could be not just your energy that you're releasing. It could be the energy, right, remember, that they all brought in.
Right.
My first suggestion for you, because whenever people leave, one of the first things you should do, or one of the first things I do, is I smudge. Now, you can smudge either using your sage, which I know you have, or
right,
one of your crystal sprays, which I know you also have.
Right.
And if you don't have those type of things, other things that you can do to clear the energy in the house and in the room is as simple as walking around, and I know it may look bizarre doing it, but is walking around and clapping.
Clapping. Okay.
Okay? Yeah. And by walking around and clapping, you can create and recreate the energy that's in the room. A great example is when we go to a performance and when we're clapping out of genuine admiration and excitement, we clap and you can feel the energy just lift and rise up, right?
True.
And so it's the same thing. We have little chakras called nadis in our hands, and so every time we clap, that releases more and more positive energy.
Okay.
You can, yeah. So you can walk around and do that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I knew I needed to spray today, and I just couldn't get up out of my chair. I was so tired. So I haven't done it yet. So I have to do it tomorrow morning for sure.
Okay. Yeah. And it's not too late before you go to bed.
True. Yeah, I've got one upstairs and one down, so they fortunately were only downstairs this time, so that was a good thing that they didn't go upstairs. So,
Well,
but I'll do both.
but you're still carrying the energy up.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to do both. I'll do the spray upstairs as well tonight.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good because I have all these crystals as I was putting them out for the moon this weekend with my granddaughters. They were so excited to work with me on it. And I had 2 huge cookie sheets filled.
Wow.
And I still didn't have my jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
I still had to put that, and that would have taken up another cookie sheet if I had it set up, but I didn't. So we didn't do that one this time, but they were fascinated with it and were asking lots of questions and looking at the Book of Stones. And so what little I do know, they got the knowledge of. So that was kind of neat.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and they helped me bring them in and see how beautiful they looked after they had their moon bath, and I let them have a good sun bath, till brought them in before noon, so they got to see them from that. So they were really fascinated with all that.
Yeah. Yeah, mine actually need to get out for a full moon bath as well. I just keep having rain baths.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. I think this is the first time I've even been able to put out the stones and not have rain for a year.
Wow.
Every full moon here seems to be raining, which is fine, except when we've had a lot through the cold weather, so of course I couldn't put them out. And I don't have any place in my house to get the moon. Well, I can put them I have one windowsill that I can really put them in to get any energy from the moon, and I can't put them all in it, obviously. But we just have had so much rain, and I don't understand that. Why does it seem the weather is beautiful up until close to the full moon, and then it rains? What causes that cycle?
I have no earthly idea.
I just thought, what am I missing? There's some reason why we're getting rain on the full moon.
I have no earthly idea. I cannot answer that question. I would like to know, but yeah, no. We have had it seems like every other month, but because of just the things that have gone on and been happening, getting my stones out has not always been convenient.
Right.
But here's something to keep in mind. 2 moons, 2 days prior to the full moon, you're already started the full moon energy.
Right.
And then 2 days after the full moon, you're still in the full moon energy.
Right.
So as long as you're working within that 5-day period, you're good.
Right. I always forget it, though. That's the problem. I know it's coming, and I just think, oh, I should get them out there, and then something comes up and I don't. Then the full moon hits, and I'm ready to put them out, and it rains. And I'm like, okay. Then the next night, I think, oh, I'll get them out, and I don't. And then the next night, I completely forget about it. So it's just training myself, I guess, more so, of learning to do it. But, yeah. But when I have to go around the house and collect. You saw all my boxes of, all my bowls of crystals, and try to get all those outside at one time. It's a couple hour, because I have to go around the house like, okay, this crystal is here, and this crystal is here, and this crystal is here, because we have them set up, as you know, all around the house. Yeah. And then this time I took the bowls of them and put them on the cookie sheets, and got those out, which was a little easier, and that worked pretty well. But I still have them all around the house. I have to remember where I have them all and collect them. But yeah, I just go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, no, I understand that. I am the same. I have them everywhere, and then I have to gather up the ones that my kids have. And so yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
yeah.
Eh,
But
It
this is
happens.
important to me because I have all these crystals, but I do
Hmm.
not know what they're for,
Okay.
but a few of them, and I have to learn what works for what.
Well, one of the greatest, the first thing is follow your intuition. And the best way to do that is to sit with the stone. And I tell people to talk to the stone, and as my daughter says, not everyone can talk to stones, Mom. But I encourage people to sit and you talk to the stone, and you ask the stone what it's there to teach you and how it's there to work with you. And then you write about it. And it's not going to all come in like a conversation like this.
Right.
It may come over time. You working with your rose quartz wand, what do you get? Ask yourself that. Write it down. Okay, today I worked with my rose quartz wand and this is how I felt. Each day do it for a week. See how you feel, and then you can assess from that how that stone is going to work for you. Books are wonderful and they're great, but remember, a lot of what is written is either what's been passed down, which is fantastic, or it's what people have done using their own intuition. And so one of the things that I have done is I have a notebook and I call it my crystal book, and I write down, I try to work with stones and get an idea what it means to me. And the way I get it
Okay.
is by sometimes I'll meditate with it. Sometimes I'll just carry it around. I'll make observations, how I feel, what I notice, numbers that I see, because numbers speak to me as well. So if I'm working with certain stones and I see certain numbers repeat, uh, and not just on the clock, if addresses, phone numbers, whatever it may be, there are little things that I make note of, and it gives me an idea of what my intuition is telling me. Our intuition is very, very valuable, and it can serve us in more ways than just telling us when something right is about to happen or something wrong is about to happen.
Right.
It can give us a lot of insight. It's learning how to tap into what it's trying to tell us.
And I
That's
know
what's
I have all these crystals for a reason.
and you've had
Otherwise, I
all
wouldn't
those.
have them.
No, and your crystals are very unique because you guys have been collecting them from all over for decades
Right.
and just collecting them.
Right.
So, yes. Yeah,
Yeah, they're meant to be here. I just have to learn what they're here for.
that's right. And you may
Yeah.
learn that part of what all those crystals are is that you're just the caregiver waiting to find the actual next caregiver. Remember, we
Right.
don't we don't own the crystals, even though we might buy them and pay for them, or they're gifted
Right.
to us. Bottom line is we're still just the caretakers.
Right.
And when they're done working with us, it's time for them to move on.
Yeah.
And
It's like Rusty's pouch. His moved on. The entire pouch.
it happens.
Yep. We have yet to find where they went. Just like my keys. Haven't found those yet either.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's okay though. We're looking for a cell phone here and house keys as well. So
Yeah. It
we
just
need
makes
to.
me nervous because I've got like all my little cards on them, that you use for different stores.
Mhm.
So they're all on there as well. So And the car
Yeah.
key. And the house
Well,
key.
they probably aren't far.
Yep. I've tried everything that everybody suggested, but nothing yet.
Well, they may just be visiting.
Yep.
So,
I'd
well,
like to find out who they're visiting.
or to be put it in a deeper context, how about what dimension they're visiting? Because
That's probably closer to it.
yeah, yeah. So that happens. Well, with that, Susan, I
Okay.
am going to end our lovely chat and our hangout today. I appreciate the fact that you could come. And for those of you who aren't able to make the actual hangout, you were missed. I hope that you'll get to come and join us on another one. I probably am not going to be doing a hangout next week because our hope is that we're going to be out caravanning, or as they say in the States, we'll be out camping in our new travel trailer. So until the following week, which I will be doing another hangout, I hope that you'll join me then. Until next time, keep being the best version of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.